Hi everyone, welcome to Art 1500 Two-Dimensional Design. This is a fully online course and I will be walking you through everything that is in the course, how to find it and how to accomplish it. My name's Dr. Kenny and I have created this course, and hopefully those of you that are interested in learning about two-dimensional design and how to really look at things and understand if they've been designed well, this course will help you with that. So let's get right into it. There's a welcome letter on the first page. After that, you're going to be going into modules. So let's go into modules right away. The first thing you'll notice is the enrollment agreement. This is extremely important. We do not check absences here at Concordia. So you need to be able to sign into this saying that yes, you are going to take the course. If you don't fill it out within the first week of this 8-week course, you will be dropped by the registrar. It has nothing to do with me, but just so you know, you will be dropped. Let's move on. This is a little bit of information just about me, who I am, and there I am. Hi. And, a little bit about my history, my bio. This is my office hours by appointment. You can call me on the phone. I have my office phone linked to my cell phone, so I should be able to see you. And this is my email. If you would like to meet outside of the class, obviously we don't actually have meeting times. We can definitely meet. So just send me an email and or call me and we will set up a meeting time for Zoom. And I do have my Zoom address listed as well in the syllabi. The next thing down is the pray and chat. This is a place where if you would like to put someone on a prayers list, this is a good place to do it. You can add your own chats. I put one here just to get started in terms of the course. Definitely, I'm looking forward to hearing your replies on this. And hopefully, you're going to find everything in here really helpful for your career. All right. Next is Canvas resources. This is a place where you can look up information about how to use Canvas, alternative format info. And then here's our online supply list. So to do these projects, you're going to need to have some supplies. So I've collected everything and put it into an Amazon list. And here's that Amazon list. Now, it doesn't, it tells you what you need. So here it says you need a drawing pad, sketch pad, sketchbook 9x12. It doesn't tell you which one you have to buy. You can click on here and you can pick one, right? So here they are. Here's all the 9x12s. I suggest you get something with at least 50 sheets. Now this one's 100 sheets. It's only $7.99. So I try to find things that are actually pretty reasonable, so you're not spending a lot of money. If you have some of these things already, then you don't have to buy them. So it's all set up so it's on individual. You can buy one, and then just go ahead and order it. All right, let's move back. And definitely you're going to need this right away. So you want to get that supply list as soon as possible. The next thing I want to talk about is tools for success. So tools for success is an area where I've compiled some things about writing. And I'm really hoping that you take a minute because there are 2 papers in this course. That's all, just 2. There are 3 to 5 pages. But I ask you to do them in APA style. And the reason why is, number one, APA style is a lot simpler to work with than MLA. Number two, if you're going to go on, like say you're going to go and get your master's degree or you're going to get your PhD, it would be expected that you would use APA style. So APA is an actual academic style of writing. So the first thing you'll see is there's a document here, a Word document, and basically it just walks you through, how to write a paper in APA style. So here's everything that you need, how to do references, how to alphabeticalize them. And then also it refers you to the publication manual. So let's say, that's not really helpful to you and you say to yourself, maybe there's a better way. So what I did was also put in some information here. So that here we have very easy YouTube videos on how to create a title page, how to do in-text citations, and also how to do a reference list. In addition to that, a lot of times students have a hard time figuring out how to write about art. So this first video is about a man by the name of Panofsky, and he actually came up with a way to write about art. And we use this in the art area here at Concordia as a way for you to like research art. So it's very easy. I mean, it's easier than you could imagine. I highly recommend you to watch this video and think about it, because it really helps you kind of attack the way to research something that's visual. All right. So those are big areas. And then there's some online galleries, fun places to look for artwork. So the first project that we're going to do is called a Zentangle. And a Zentangle is really easy and it's a lot of fun. And every section, so this is unit 1, every section has an overview. So I really recommend that you go through and look at the overview. It walks you through everything that you need to know, right? So here's our project that we'll be doing is a Zentangle exploration. Our very first video that we want to watch in terms of art and design is called The Fundamentals of Design. I may have this video in here more than once in the course because it is so important. And the first paper that you're going to write, and that is the relationship. What is the difference between design and art? A lot of people conflate the two, and they're very different. So I want you to be able to understand that. So that's your warm up. Also, let me just get back in there for a second. I am fairly certain that down at the bottom, I have materials that you'll need for any project and step-by-steps. So that's all in here. So this is just a good place for you to look. And then underneath that is the Dropbox. So this is where you will be putting your Zentangle when it's finished. These are videos and things that you should really watch before you even start the course. Unit 1 essay. So this is the essay that we just talked about, exploring the spectrum of creativity and purpose. What is the difference between art versus design? How to write in APA style. Art versus design articles that you can look for some references. So here I've already even tried to help you find some things that I think are very good to read. All right, Unit 2. This is where we're going to look at the elements and principles of design. Again, let's look at the overview. We talk about the faith connection between design and artists. These are the things that you will need to read. Obviously, there isn't a book for this course, but there are a lot of videos. And I walk you through because it's a visual class. So it doesn't help you to necessarily read everything, but you want to be able to, see how to do it. So this first video here is a lecture that is about art and about design and the elements and principles. And so it really walks you through everything that you need to know about the elements and principles of design. These are quick links. If you haven't gotten your essays and so forth done, you can quick link to them. This is an article on elements and principles explained and illustrated. So if we click on it, it takes you right to it and it walks you through every single thing, right? There is a quiz on the elements and principles, so we'll be spending some time there. Here's your quiz. There is also discussion questions 1 and 2, and these also are links that will take you directly to the discussion questions. I'm hoping that is all very clear. If you have questions, again, don't be afraid to email me. Your first project is also involved here, and it tells you right, in here, elements and principles, develop thumbnails, and then you're going to do rough drafts and then final designs for projects 1 and 2. So, and all of that it takes you right to the links for your original thumbnails. But let's go back in the modules and take a look at where they are. So here they are. If we go here, it's kind of in a long row. And these modules you can collapse or expand at will. So the first thing is, what are thumbnails? That's, something you may have never heard before. It's literally not what's on your thumb, but it are tiny pictures of your ideas. This is there's all kinds of good examples in here of what thumbnails should look like. And then here's where your drop boxes come in. So the first thing you're going to do is your thumbnails, which is a quick, your thumbnail drawing shouldn't take more than a minute. They're just ideas. They can be stick figures. It doesn't matter. It's fine. The next, and there's videos in here as well. So I want you to really watch all of this. And then the second thing that will be due, so you'll notice that they're kind of a couple days apart. The rough draft in 8x10, and then your elements final posters. So these are 2 posters, your elements poster and your principles poster. Now in your online supply list, if we click on this again, you'll notice that one of the things that you're going to need is a watercolor pad, right? And that's what you're going to be using. And this is large. This is 18x24. So you'll see that these are a little bit bigger. This is the most expensive thing you're going to buy. This is what you're going to use. You don't need a lot of these. Like this one has 60 sheets. This one has 12 sheets. This is probably a better one than this one, even though it's more expensive because the company is better. This is Strathmore. They're an excellent, excellent company. If you don't care about that, you can get one of these. The difference is this is small. This is 8x3x11x7. This is the actual right size, 18x24. So this is an actual poster size, which is kind of what I want you to do. Here's another nice one by Strathmore, only 12 sheets. It's a little bit cheaper. It's bound differently, right? So you can kind of look through these. Maybe you already have some watercolor paper. Maybe you decide that you do want to just make them smaller and you want to go with a 9x12. I'm not going to have a problem with that. You know, in the in-person class, we're doing 18x24. But so I wanted you to have the option. But you want to use the watercolor paper because you will be using watercolor on it and you will be using Micron pens on it. And, you know, it's going to be up to you. You may be using color pencils on it. It's really going to be up to you what mediums you're going to choose. And I have a selection of different mediums available to you. So I just want to kind of go back over that and show you why some of these things are important. Your whole kit is probably going to cost around $75, just so you know. All right. Moving on to, and then there's our quiz. And there's always study guides for every quiz. So there's nothing on the quizzes that are going to, you know, surprise you. Everything should be there. Here's another introduction to thumbnails, more about thumbnails, and student examples. So definitely look through all of these, and then some just fun videos for you to take a look at. All right, let's go on to Unit 3. So Unit 3 covers the idea of dynamic line. Again, all of the videos are in here, step-by-step instructions. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just like before, you're going to be doing thumbnail ideas. Then you're going to be doing an 8x10 to kind of say, this is the one that I'm going to go big with, right? And then last but not least, you have these 3 separate areas. These are going to be where you're going to take your 8x10 and you're going to make copies of it. And you're going to try to use the Micron pens to give it value and texture. And you're going to want to have it light and dark. So different things that are light and different things that are dark are going to look more, they're going to look like they're coming forward or they're pushing back. And so there's a lot of information in here that you really need to pay attention to in order to understand how these work. Now, I do have in our overview on this one, if you look at it, there is, here's our descriptions, right? This is all what's due, your assignments. And then if we go back, let me get back down to 3, how to start your project. So in here, I literally have step by step. So here's what the dynamic lines look like, finished. There's all different varieties. This is, you know, kind of how to start it. And then this talks a lot about the light and the dark app, you know, what we just got done talking about. So how does that work? and watch this video because it literally shows you everything that you need to know. So just don't underestimate, I'm here for you, but this is a way for you to see everything visually. All right, let's move on to section 4. Section 4, there's actually not a visual project. This is a project where you're going to be studying and thinking about color. There's a bunch of videos and lectures that I have in here about simultaneous color and the color theory, how it all works. So here's some stuff on color theory for beginners, right? And I think what I'm going to do before you actually take the course is I'm going to collate all of these. So there's like color and its associated meanings. So see how I have all these videos. So this is a lecture by me. I want to put all of these things in one page. So that's probably something that's going to happen next. So just look for that in one spot. And then in this section, you will have a quiz, 2 discussion questions, and an essay. And the essay is, again, very self-explanatory. I give you prompts. So here's your format. You're going to be using APA style. And then you have prompt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if you want to do things on foundational ideas about color, symbolic ideas about color, or applications of color, any of these will work. You just pick one, and it's a 3 to 4 page. Very simple. Really should not be hard. We encourage the use of AI in this class. So don't be afraid about that. I think it helps with your grammar. I think it helps with, your understanding. And so we have the most lax AI rule. So don't worry about using AI. I still want you to be able to have a cover sheet. I want you to be able to do in-text. You're going to need to do in-text citations. So that's a thing. So you're definitely going to have to look over your papers. It's not like AI is going to do all that for you, but you definitely can use it. I don't have a problem with that. All right, so that's our color theory. And then we're going to get to our very last thing. Remember, this is only an 8-week course. And we're going to sort of do a deep dive into typography and how typography is an inspiration. And we're going to look at everything from graffiti to, really beautiful type in Bibles and all the rest. And so there's some hand lettering tutorials here. And then you have your actual discussion question. And I think you've got a quiz. So you've got a type quiz. And then these are this project. And so you've got, actually, this discussion question is in the wrong place. Let's move it back up where it belongs. There we go. So you've got discussion question 1 and 2, and then your thumbnails, just like we've always done, and your 8x10 and your final. And then again, this can be in color. It's all sort of handed in at the same time. And that's going to be the very last day of class. So it gives you a lot of time. There's only, the 3 out of the 5 or 4 out of the 5 sections have a actual project due. I pared them down so you should be able to get everything done. 2 papers, some quizzes, and discussion questions. And that's it. I think it's a very doable class. I think you're going to find it a lot of fun. And I think you will enjoy sharing your stuff on your discussion question pages and maybe even put some things in the prayer chat. Who knows? But that's all I've got for today. And I hope that's a good overview so you know where things are, kind of how the course works. And I look forward to hearing from you and reading your work and learning a lot more about you. So again, don't be afraid. My contact information is going to be in the syllabi and in here. So you can contact me anytime. We can Zoom if you're confused or you just want to show me some work. You can send it, image to me in your email, and there we go. Yay. Well, congratulations. Everyone that's taken the course has really loved it, and I hope you love it too. Till next time.